Stop. Before you sell your Pi tokens, you need to see this. 370 million Pi tokens just hit exchanges in July. That's a 40% surge in just 4 months, and your Pi investment is in serious danger. But here's the shocking truth nobody's talking about. This massive sell-off might actually be setting up the biggest opportunity Pi Network has ever seen. I'm about to reveal 3 critical developments that could flip this entire situation upside down. And if you're thinking about giving up on Pi Network, this video will either save your investment or help you make the smartest exit decision of your life. Follow my Telegram and Facebook page links in the description for exclusive updates I don't share anywhere else. Here's what's really happening right now. While everyone's panicking about Pi Network's future, smart money is watching 3 key indicators that could trigger a massive reversal. Pi is down 18% this week, trading at 48 cents, and analysts are predicting it could crash to 36 cents within days. But here's the kicker. The same data showing this crash also reveals why Pi Network might be about to prove every doubter wrong. I'm going to show you exactly what the Pi Core team isn't telling you, what the exchange data really means, and why the next 30 days could make or break your entire Pi investment. Hit that subscribe button because what comes next will blow your mind. Alright, let's get real for a minute. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. The numbers we're seeing right now are concerning. There are now over 370 million Pi tokens sitting on exchanges, and that's a 40% jump from just 4 months ago. When I first saw these numbers, my heart sank a little, and I know yours probably did too. But here's the thing, I've been in crypto for years and I've seen this pattern before. When people panic, they move their coins to exchanges. It's human nature. You see the price dropping, you start doubting everything, and your first instinct is to get ready to sell. I've been there myself with other investments. Right now, Pi is trading at around 48 cents. And yeah, it's down about 18% this week. That stings, especially if you've been holding for years. But let me ask you something. Do you remember when Bitcoin was at $3,000 and everyone said it was dead, or when Ethereum crashed to $80? I'm not saying Pi is Bitcoin, but I am saying that markets are emotional, and emotions can cloud judgment. Now here's where it gets interesting. July brought another wave of token unlocks. 232.9 million Pi tokens became available. I know what you're thinking. Great, more selling pressure. And you're not wrong. More tokens in circulation usually means more downward pressure on price. But let me put this in perspective. These unlocks were always part of the plan. They're not a surprise attack on your investment. The Pi team has been transparent about this process from the beginning. The question isn't whether unlocks will happen, it's how the market will absorb them. Some analysts are predicting Pi could drop to 36 cents over the next week and potentially to 35 cents by August. I won't lie. That's a scary thought if you're holding a significant amount. But predictions are just that, predictions. I've seen analysts be completely wrong before, and I've seen them be spot on. Remember back in May when Nicholas Kokalis made that rare public appearance? Man, the community went crazy. People were buying Pi like there was no tomorrow. Exchange balances actually dropped because everyone was pulling their tokens off exchanges to hold them. That single appearance caused a massive shift in sentiment. June brought another wave of global uncertainty, and with it came fear, doubt, and exhaustion. One day, you feel hopeful. The next, you're questioning everything. It's become clear that Pi Network is heavily driven by community sentiment. When belief is strong, progress feels electric. But when doubt sets in, the momentum fades, regardless of how much the core team delivers. And truthfully, the team has delivered, from the Pi App Studio to staking, better KYC, and desktop updates. Still, every time there's positive news, the price seems to dip further, almost like the market's stuck in a cycle of disappointment. It's not that the updates aren't real, it's that the wait has been so long, the payoff doesn't feel as satisfying anymore. Right now, analysts are split. If Pi can't break above 55 cents, we might see a further drop to 45 cents or even 38 cents. On the flip side, some are forecasting a jump to $1.21. That kind of range just shows how uncertain this moment really is. Everyone's watching for that big catalyst, likely the open network launch. But with deadlines now pushed into late 2025, it's no wonder people are frustrated. 4 years is a long time, and sentiment has clearly taken a hit. I see it in the community every day. People are tired, scared, and starting to doubt. If that's you, know this: you're not alone, and you're not weak. This is what holding through uncertainty looks like in crypto, but here's something I've learned from years in crypto. The darkest moments are often right before the biggest breakthroughs. I'm not saying that's definitely what's happening here, but it's worth considering. So, where does this leave you? First, acknowledge that what you're feeling is valid. The uncertainty is real, the waiting is hard, and the price action is frustrating. Don't let anyone tell you that you should just hold and forget about it if you're genuinely concerned about your investment. Second, understand that Pi Network is heavily influenced by sentiment right now. Technical developments are important, but they're not enough to move the needle if the community isn't excited about them. This means that major price movements will likely come from big announcements or external events, not gradual improvements. Third, consider your own situation. Are you invested more than you can afford to lose? Have you been checking the price obsessively? Are you losing sleep over this? If so, it might be time to reassess your position. Not because Pi Network is doomed, but because your mental health is more important than any investment. Moving forward, I'm keeping my eye on several key things. First, the actual open network launch date. Any further delays could really hurt confidence. Second, how the community responds to future token unlocks. Third, whether any major exchanges decide to list Pi, which could help absorb some of the selling pressure. I'm also watching the Pi App Studio adoption. If developers start building real applications that people actually use, that could be the catalyst we need to shift sentiment, but it needs to be real utility, not just more promises. Look, I'm not going to lie to you. Pi Network is facing some serious challenges right now. The numbers don't lie and the sentiment is tough. But I've also seen this community do incredible things when it comes together. The question isn't whether Pi Network has problems, it clearly does. The question is whether the team can solve them and whether the community will stick around long enough to see it happen. If you're a Pi holder, stay informed, but don't let this consume your life. The next few months are going to be crucial. We'll either see a turnaround that justifies years of waiting, or we'll get more clarity about what the realistic future looks like. Pi Network is at a crossroads, and so are you as an investor. The current situation is challenging, but it's not hopeless. The key is staying realistic about both the problems and the potential. Make sure you're following my Telegram and Facebook pages for real-time updates. I promise to keep giving you the straight truth, even when it's not what we want to hear. If this video helped you understand what's really happening, hit that like button and share it with other pioneers who might be struggling with the same questions. Drop a comment below and let me know. Are you holding, selling, or somewhere in between? I read every comment, and I genuinely want to know how you're feeling about all this. We're in this together, and sometimes just knowing you're not alone makes all the difference. Remember, whether Pi Network succeeds or not, you're not defined by one investment decision. Take care of yourself, stay informed, and let's see what happens next.